Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Wednesday, February 5th, and the markets are a little red right now. We've got some new crazy ideas coming out of the White House. Trump suggesting that the U.S. take over Gaza and turn it into a Riviera. So that's the new idea for the day. It could be a beautiful Riviera, probably the greatest Riviera ever. It would solve everyone's problems. I'm not sure the U.S. understands that them taking everything over actually solves the problems that exist today. But that is a whole other conversation. If we take a look at what's going on outside of the craziness of U.S. politics, which is likely to be with us for another 4 years, it's really just a lot of responses to what people are preparing for around tariffs. We did get the ADP jobs report today, and it added more than forecast at 183,000. So this is private jobs. We'll get the U.S. jobs data report out on Friday of this week. So that's positive. What wasn't positive was the tumble in both AMD and Alphabet after markets yesterday. So that's where we are, and that if we turn over, to the futures and take a look at the futures, you'll see they're all in the red. So it looks like we're going to be off to a bit of a red and turbulent day. We've got some big earnings coming out today. We've got Amazon coming out today, a couple of others reporting. Amazon, probably the biggest name in the Mag 7 there. Everything is down going into the open right now, and we're about 35 minutes out from the open. If we flip over to the Yahoo Finance app for a second and have a look, you can see that crude is down better part of $0.75 there at 71.92. It has really been moving around in the last, couple of weeks, from almost getting up into the 80s, now down into the low 70s. It had a $2 move the other day. It's really, really uncertain at this point what's going on with crude, and I think a lot of that is around some of these trade tensions with the tariff talks. So it's not an increase or decrease in production. So that's just happening as it has been. And there haven't been any, call them catastrophic events to prevent production. So it's really coming down to volumes being potentially being produced and where they're going to come to feed different countries' needs for crude oil. What we can see here, which again blows my mind a little bit today, is health and retail up. So as we expect tariffs, I would be expecting health and retail to be going down, but health and retail has been very, very solid and in fact growing. Walmart got crossed over the $100 mark per share yesterday, climbing to 177 cents. Healthcare, for the most part, was in the green yesterday. Transport had a pretty good recovery, a pretty good day yesterday. We get into oil. Oil had a pretty phenomenal day yesterday, almost across the board with a couple of exceptions. Crude's down again today, and oil's a bit of a mixed bag. We've got some stocks in the green, some stocks in the red, just really depending. Valero had a fabulous day yesterday, up almost $7 at 681, up to just under $43 a share. It looks like it's going to pull back a bit today. That was a comeback we've been waiting for quite some time. It's been quite delayed. Texas Instruments dropping down into the 179 range. I bought a little bit of Texas Instruments yesterday, feeling that it is near its lower resistance level, and I think that it will recover to the mid 180s. Applied Materials as well. It dropped yesterday. I regret not buying at the open at the drop. I didn't. I just watched it. I do believe it's going to get back up into the mid 180s, if not into the 190s within this month or by earnings, which will be coming up in 8 days. So it should happen. I believe this will recover. We'll see. NVDL, obviously the hedged NVIDIA, it is rising this morning. It was up yesterday. NVIDIA, one of the slower semis to recover out of all of this. But I think good news yesterday for NVIDIA, because Google reported they committed to an increase to, I believe it was 75 billion in AI infrastructure spending. A lot of that will go into chips. Those chips will be bought by NVIDIA, and that was up from 56 billion. So NVIDIA is going to receive a significant amount of that spending. We've got Micron, which broke above 90. Again, this should be a $110 stock, if not more, but it has been hit hard after the tech slump a week ago Monday, and then we had the Trump tariff slump this past Monday. Mondays haven't been good for us in the last couple of weeks for consistency. They've been great for volatility and the ability to buy in at deep discounts. CrowdStrike was up positive yesterday. It was up a lot, $10. So they're coming into earnings soon. I think it's going to be early March. So that is interesting to watch, that one. And then you've got Palo Alto as well as Net, all having done fairly well in this last month, into the new year anyway. Around cybersecurity. CRM had an okay day. It fell yesterday and presented a great buying opportunity. I got into CRM on the dip at 339 and then watched it go back up and sold out towards the end of the day there in the lower 340s. I think it could dip again today into the low 340s, could present a buying opportunity as we go into earnings with that in the quarter. We've got Team. So Team had phenomenal earnings. It popped yesterday. After and on earnings, it went up to, I think it was in the, I'm going to say 318, 322, that range. It then dropped down to 310, and now it started to recover. I'm going to keep an eye on Team. I think there's a lot of potential opportunity ongoing there for Atlassian, which is symbol Team. Then you've got Microsoft just kind of hovering after earnings down in the 410 range, 412 range. Looks like it's going to pull back into the 410s today. We've got earnings from ARM coming out today. Tomorrow. So we'll be watching that tomorrow on Thursday. I may have misspoke on Amazon earnings. They're coming out. They are tomorrow, not today. So we've got those to have an eye on. Shopify had a great day yesterday. AMD got hit hard on earnings yesterday. It is off 10%. And yet it beat on earnings and had a strong Q1 forecast. So this is a little bit bewildering, but this stock has never been a darling of the market. It's always been the bastard stepchild. So we just have to take that for what it is. EA reported earnings yesterday, and they obviously did well. They were up in the pre-market. So despite the slump a couple weeks ago where it sold off and was down into the 115, 117 range, it's now made that pre-earnings announcement, got the bad, cleared the air with some of the bad news, and then released earnings and has popped in the pre-market and post-market. IBM made a great announcement yesterday, and it was up for almost $4. It announced that it is increasing its sales forecast for the year, so that was positive. Workday this morning is up $16.50. This one is one of a couple that are blowing my mind right now because I don't understand why. They didn't report earnings. They don't report until the 25th, and I'm not sure what has caused this stock to shoot up so much in the pre-market, but it is having a phenomenal pre-market. We'll see whether it sticks in the next 28 minutes at the open. The other one that went up in the post-market and is up in the pre-market is AVGO, which is Broadcom. Another one without any news that I've been able to identify, just popped after market close yesterday, and I had some Broadcom. I sold that when it was up $10 or $11. It's now up $9 in the post market. It's up $9 in the pre-market. I sold it in the post market, and I'm just waiting to see whether that comes down to where it closed yesterday or whether it's going to open there. That'll be interesting. Amazon pulling back in before earnings here, so it is off today, almost 1.5%. Meta went above 700 yesterday. It is just a really, really strong stock. However, there is a gray cloud on the horizon for these large technology companies, and it comes back to Trump's threats of tariffs now against the EU. So now the EU is saying if the US implements tariffs against it, then it will retaliate with tariffs against it, the large technology players. So something to watch there. BABA has earnings today. It is off 2%. So if we scroll down here, I'm not seeing whether they beat or didn't beat at this point, but they, I'm going to assume didn't beat, but because they're down 2%, but they had a positive day yesterday. NVIDIA up $2. I think NVIDIA is a great buy right now at 118, and I think this stock has a lot of room to go and to grow. I heard a podcast yesterday of an influencer who had the ability to have dinner with some, she called them Silicon Valley royalty, and she asked the question, well, she asked a lot of questions. The one takeaway she shared from the dinner was the question she asked around where we are today with AI, and almost unanimously, the response back was, if you compare it to the internet, it's like 1996. So that was obviously the very, very, very early days of the internet. So there is a tremendous amount of room yet to grow and a runway to expand upon for AI. It's just, we are in such early days for AI. So what that means from an investment standpoint is you've got a long time for this stuff to materialize. We're going to see some companies get into AI and go bust. We're going to see others just become part of the new Mag 7 in 5 and 10 years. So lots of opportunity there, and that just helps to further solidify my feeling around NVIDIA, as well as TSM. TSM had a great day yesterday, up $4.25, looking like it's up again today. I'll be buying that on the dip. Google obviously hit hard. I think Google's going to come back. I think it's a buying opportunity today for Google, or tomorrow. Let it find a bottom, and then I would buy in there at what I'm going to consider a discount, because earnings are going to turn, profitability is going to turn on that, and it's going to see its revenues increase. There's just no way about it. It's almost impossible to stop that company at this point. And then we get down into financials. I'm kind of staying away from financials right now. I don't see a lot of excitement there. In fact, I feel like they're a little overpriced, and you could be getting yourself into some problems with financials. And so I'm staying clear of those and investing more and focusing more on the tech side of things. If you're liking these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Release these daily, and hopefully you're enjoying them. If you want me to talk about a certain topic, I'd be happy to if you leave me a comment. If it's something I'm knowledgeable on, even if it's not, I'll tell you. And good luck with your trades today.